It's
Instead,
going for so long.
somehow you just wind up designing websites.
I know. That's what happens when you go to the gym a lot. You wind up building websites about headphones and media players and... Oh, man. Anyway, you're still playing a video game, it seems.
Yeah, I just did the Arcane Sanctuary, so now we're heading off to Duriel to kill him. That's about it. I've been gaining levels pretty consistently.
That's the hard... like, we started doing this commentary knowing full well that we would have to comment on the same thing 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and it's like, we're just trying to fill 4.5 hours at this point. It's not like there's 4.5 hours worth of stuff to talk about.
There wasn't even... We got bored partway through the first segment.
Did we?
Yeah.
That sucks.
We ran away. We got lunch. Well, supper.
Yeah.
We got food. We weren't even started yet. I'm almost hungry again.
No, you're not. You just ate a freaking pizza.
I'm so full. And it had chicken fingers on it.
Oh, it didn't have buffalo.
If I'm gonna commit suicide by ingesting so much calories and cholesterol, it might as well be what I ordered. Whatever, I go to the gym.
So here's Duriel dying. Mark is a meathead.
Not even. He'll drag me every single day.
Oh.
Aw.
So now you gotta do the rounds, talk to her to complete quest 1. And you gotta talk to Jaren, so he tells you to...
Go into his basement.
He's like, go to the boat. And then you're like, alright, but this is a faster way to the boat. Oh ho! You go to the boat. Missy's like, oh.
You don't even go on the boat. You just talk to a guy who's standing by the boat. What is that little dance? Just mixing it up a little?
I guess.
I like how initially, when you talk to Jaren, he's just like, I give you permission to go into my basement and just look at stuff. And then there's monsters in his basement.
Yeah.
It seems like why would you keep a portal to a different realm in your basement? Like, that's really what it is, isn't it? That's ridiculous.
It's not his basement, it's a palace.
But this is his palace. He built it.
Well, he's never gone inside because it's full of monsters.
It's always been full of monsters? I thought it had to do with Bale and Mephisto and somebody.
That's a good question.
Mephisto, probably, because you haven't killed him at this point.
Well, Mephisto is only around to guard the Tomb of Tal Rasha because there was... What? How the hell did it happen? Yeah,
like, Duriel was in the Tomb of Tal Rasha.
Well, what happened is Bale's Soul Stone was found a while back, and then they couldn't just leave it out because that'd be stupid. So they found some wizard who dedicated himself to doing his best to control that Soul Stone. So they stuck it in his face, so he started to transform into Bale, and then they tied him up and put him in that tomb, and basically sealed him in there. So for all eternity, he'd just be fighting with that demon, which sucks for him, but, he's an altruistic kind of guy.
As opposed to the character that you play in the original Diablo, who just immediately turns into Diablo.
Yeah.
The second he puts the Soul Stone... Well, first of all, if you're going to carry around a stone, why would you immediately jam it into your forehead?
He didn't immediately turn into Diablo.
Well, he immediately jammed it into his forehead.
Yeah. Well, what else are you going to do?
Like, seriously.
I don't know why they couldn't keep it into a pouch. But anyway, that tomb... Tal Rasha was in there with the Bale Soul Stone for years and years and years. Until finally, I guess the Wanderer came over here. And that's the
protagonist from the first game.
Yeah, the protagonist from the first game who was slowly turning into Diablo. And that his friend, who's his name? Maurice? Morian?
What?
Moron?
Why is his friend named Maurice?
No, it's the guy he meets in the cutscenes of Diablo 2. But he goes up to the Tomb of Tal Rasha, and Isual shows up, and he's like, stay away. And then the Wanderer, who's becoming Diablo, is like, Maurice, go take the Soul Stone out of his head. And then he does, and Isual is like, you fool. And then he becomes Bale.
Isual calls everyone a fool.
Oh no, not Isual, Tyrael, sorry. Tyrael calls Maurice a fool.
Where are you getting Maurice from?
I don't know his name. It starts with an M. Moriarty?
Moriarty is the villain from Sherlock Holmes.
I know that. Jeez, I'm not completely uncultured. I saw that on Star Trek.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Why was Moriarty on Star Trek?
Because they spent like half the episodes in Sherlock Holmes land for some reason.
The holodeck would break.
Every episode they're like, oh, let's go to the holodeck. Oh no, it's broken.
Why would they keep it on their ship?
Because it's
if
fun.
it broke, it almost killed them every week. It just seems like a really dangerous thing to keep around.
But it's fun. It's a holodeck.
I haven't even seen Star Trek. I've seen like 4 episodes, and in each of those 4 episodes, the holodeck broke.
Is there a part of each episode where they computer and program, computer and program? What's going on here?
They go get Picard, and he tells the program to end. Like no one tried it already. Oh
Have
my
you
God.
tried ending the program?
And they're always surprised.
Like-
It happens every single week.
Like, Picard, the computer's broken. It's not broken. Computer and program.
It's broken. Oh my God, this isn't even funny.
It's kind of funny.
We've entered a delirious state.
No, that's, I mean,
Too many hours of Diablo. It's only been like 2 hours.
Act 3 is boring anyways. It's been 2.5 hours.
That's still like just a movie.
Well, we're more than halfway done now.
Congratulations to us.
Yeah.
It's a pretty daunting task.
Yeah, I think we're doing alright.
I think it was more daunting to make the run, but it's just about as daunting to do the commentary for the run. I mean, you sat through this game for a month, and now you gotta sit through it in one sitting.
Well, you know, it's not like I'm sitting through watching the game the whole time, talking about whatever. So there's the Gibbidin, whatever. I need mana. Not enough mana.
He just complains all day.
That's her job.
You give and you give and you give. You should have had a program running in the background that counted the amount of mana potions that you use. Or mana. Is it mana or mana in this game?
She calls it mana. I call it mana.
Everybody should call it mana.
Well,
If you say mana, then you just sound pretentious.
Well, isn't mana the pronunciation of the biblical unleavened bread?
Yeah, but that's not what you're using. You
You don't know that.
blue sphere. It's not filled with bread.
Maybe the jar is blue.
The jar is clear.
Oh, you mean the health bar on the right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the, Shut up.
And the jar is not blue. You can see it's not even filled the entire way.
Relax. Maybe they use food coloring.
For the bread, the
Yeah.
liquid bread, they use so much food coloring.
Yeah.
Well, then at that point, it's something different anyway. If it's more food coloring than bread,
You don't need that much food coloring
to
color
turn
it blue.
to turn bread to water, it needs to be mostly food coloring.
No,
at
the
that
bread gets turned into water on its own.
point. Wow.
Who knows?
Magic.
What are we even talking about again?
I don't even. We're talking about Diablo 2, which you're playing, right?
Yeah, I'm still getting all the pieces of the Act 3 thing.
Act 2 is like, hey, collect a bunch of stuff, and Act 3 is, hey, collect a bunch of stuff plus one more thing.
Yeah. And go kill the stupid high council.
I still don't count the flail, though. I mean, you find it right there.
I
You don't have
guess.
to go to collect it. It's part of the
Fine.
route. You have to go out of your way to collect it. In any case, you have to go out of your way to collect the other 3 things.
Is it route or route? It's part of the route.
I say route.
I say route when it's a verb.
I have to reroute my character away from this wall.
You gotta set up your IP routing tables. But I'm gonna take Route 9 east.
That's fine.
Do you say Route 9 east or Route 9?
No, I say Route 9 too.
So there you go.
There we go. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
And that's probably good for the commentary.
I guess so. I should hope so.
I
Viewer,
can't-
tell us. What do you use? Route or route?
I'll be taking your calls for the next. I'm not going to answer my phone.
Well, if they call us right now as we're recording it, then we can talk to them.
Yeah.
But that would require a lot of time travel.
Or just a lot of pre-planning and insight and.
Yeah.
Well,
Plus,
not
you'd have to
insight,
know my
foresight.
number.
Yeah.
Or Mark's number.
Alan Burnett's number. Actually, I don't even know your number.
Haha. You're a bad friend.
I'm a bad. What's in my phone? I don't need to remember people's phone numbers anymore.
So you just let a phone do the job of your brain?
Yes.
Doesn't that make you a cyborg?
Yes.
Well, I learned something new about you, Mark.
You're a cyborg too.
I'm not.
Well, what did the pizza people call you on? They didn't yell into the door.
Whatever.
You picked up some unique splint mail.
Yes, Ice Blink. And it's ethereal.
Are you gonna put that on your merc?
I am.
Is he gonna have a wonderful day?
It gives hit freezes target, which is okay, but
That's really good on the merc.
it's good, but it doesn't work on bosses, and, you know, I don't care about little mobs because they're all dead anyways.
Oh, don't you find his unique scythe or whatever it is on Mephisto this run?
Oh, yes, in the Nightmare one, I find that Kelpie Snare, the unique Fukinsa,
Whatever.
Fushina. And that's very good. That slows target by 75%, and that does work on bosses, which makes it amazing. In fact, it's probably one of the best endgame weapons is an upgraded Kelpie Snare with a bear rune that gives it 20% crushing blow.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Mm.
I've been finding Kelpie snares, but I was selling them.
Joe.
I was like vendoring them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Joe had an upgraded ethereal Kelpie Snare with a bear rune, and that's like, you know, the ultimate of ultimate.
Really? I think I have death something.
Death Sash?
No.
Do you have the bone
scythe.
hue? Oh, that Death's stupid sat.
No,
scythe?
there's two deaths ones. There's Death's Touch and Death's
Yeah,
Scythe,
I know
and
what you're
Death's
talking about.
Touch.
You're talking about the Reaper's Toll, the Thresher,
Yeah,
right?
Reaper's Toll, yeah.
That thing's crap.
Oh, it is? It deals more damage. Doesn't slow people down, though.
I guess.
And
But-
I'm never going to find a bear that I can...
True.
Well, whatever. I've never played high... I've never made it that far
Have
in
you ever
Diablo
done?
2.
Have you ever done Uber Tristram?
No.
Oh,
I was trying to this last time that I was playing, but
Hmm.
then I got bored. I
Yeah.
realized that I had to make like 4 different characters in order to do Uber Tristram solo.
I know what you mean.
And I don't trust you people on the internet. I'm not doing Uber Tristram with you.
Me? Oh.
I mean the listeners, the people. I trust you,
Yeah.
even though you do ninja stuff for me. I got pretty good at ninjing items though.
Yeah, you have to.
Before Pickett ruined my day.
Yeah. What can you do?
Complain during
As-
the Diablo 2 commentary.
Dude, get away from me. This guy won't leave me alone. Look at him.
What a jerk.
All I want is for him to die.
Oh, and hell don't. Ugh. That's gonna be fun to comment on when you have to fight those guys in hell.
Mm.
And you just.
Now this is cool. I do both High Council, and you can see the size of the map here. I'm only going in one direction, but it's this big all around.
Yeah, it's so big. Which I think is counterintuitive because it means that like people need to have a map hack in order to do it. And they don't
Yeah.
want people to have map hacks.
Yeah, you're right.
Because then at that point all it does is it benefits people that cheat.
Right. And they just wanted to tone down the frequency of high-end items, but
And all they
That's
did
not
was
even the
make it so
problem.
that you have to have a
the
bot.
problem is in duping, not in any of the runs.
Yeah. How do you dupe items anyway? I'm totally oblivious to that part of Diablo 2.
It's like you take character A and character B. Character A gives something to character B, and then you desync the servers so that like the server you're on is not synchronized with the game server, and then character A quits. I don't know how you desync the server. I guess you do like a denial of service attack on it. I don't know the details. Then character B sits around in that game waiting for the servers to resync while character A quits immediately. So character A gets rolled back to a time when he still had those items, while character B was just given the items and gets upgraded correctly. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That sounds way too complicated. But
It's,
that's how high runes all get.
yeah,
Super
that's
complicated, right?
if you dupe like 10 bear runes at a time, There you go.